It happened live, in the middle of a broadcast watched by millions. Jasmine Crockett's voice cut through the noise of political spin, her words landing like a thunderclap. These emails are real, and they show exactly how far the Trump family has gone to protect their secrets. The room froze. The studio audience gasped. Across the country, television anchors leaned forward, straining to catch every word. And then came the moment that no one expected. Melania Trump, normally calm, controlled, and reserved, suddenly erupted. She slammed the table in front of her, her voice breaking through with a raw fury that shattered the image of elegance she had carried for years. "How dare you drag my family into this circus? How dare you use private words, stolen words, to humiliate my son and destroy my family?" Her tone wasn't polished, it wasn't rehearsed, it was fire. The leak of private emails had already ignited speculation, but seeing Melania herself explode live turned the scandal into a spectacle no one could ignore. Viewers flooded social media, hashtags multiplied by the second, and newsrooms rushed to replay the clip over and over. For the first time, Melania Trump wasn't a silent figure standing in the shadows. She was at the center of the storm, her anger impossible to contain. And that fury became the spark that would fuel a controversy far bigger than anyone could have imagined. The revelation of the emails did not appear out of thin air. For weeks, whispers had been building, hints that something explosive was waiting just beneath the surface of the Trump family's carefully constructed image. When Jasmine Crockett stepped forward with the documents, she framed them as more than personal correspondence. She called them a window into the machinery of secrecy that has shielded the Trump orbit for too long. The emails contained exchanges between trusted advisors, family confidants, and even outside allies. They showed a pattern of control, discussions about keeping information locked away, about silencing critics, about bending the narrative before it could bend them. Crockett's decision to expose these words was calculated. She knew that by dragging private communications into the public square, she would spark a confrontation that could not be brushed aside. For Melania Trump, the timing was brutal. Already reeling from earlier leaks that had shaken her family, this felt like a direct strike at her role not just as Donald Trump's wife, but as a mother fighting to protect her son. Insiders described her fury in private as even sharper than what the cameras captured. She saw the exposure as an invasion, a humiliation crafted to break her family apart piece by piece. The clash of personalities was irresistible for the media. Crockett, with her sharp tongue and fearlessness, positioned herself as the truth-teller willing to confront power. Melania, pushed past her limits, suddenly embodied the raw, emotional reaction of a mother under siege. Together, they created a narrative so combustible that every outlet, from cable news to late-night talk shows, turned it into headline after headline. The stage was set. What began as leaked emails had now become a battle between two women, one insisting the truth could not stay hidden, the other vowing that her family would not be destroyed. And the nation, already divided, was now glued to every word, waiting for the next eruption. As the controversy grew, the battle moved from hushed whispers to the center of live hearings and primetime broadcasts. Jasmine Crockett took the floor with a defiance that left no room for compromise. She held up pages of the leaked emails, her voice steady, cutting, deliberate. "These are not rumors," she declared. "These are words written inside the Trump circle. Words that reveal manipulation, cover-ups, and a desperate attempt to shield the truth from the American people." Gasps echoed through the chamber as she read selected lines. One email spoke of silencing a journalist who had come too close to exposing financial ties. Another detailed the pressure to keep certain medical records hidden from the press. Each line hit like a hammer, each revelation painting a darker picture of a family already surrounded by suspicion. Melania Trump struck back almost immediately. In interviews and statements, her tone was sharper than anyone had ever heard before. "This is not courage," she snapped. "This is exploitation. My family is being hunted for sport, and my son's name is being dragged through the mud. You call this truth, I call this cruelty." Her words ricocheted across screens, igniting both outrage and sympathy. The clash spilled into live debates, with Crockett and Melania exchanging barbs in real time. Crockett fired first. The Trumps believe they can bury reality under layers of glamour and silence, but no dynasty is too big for the truth. Melania fired back without hesitation. You will not build your career on the pain of my family. You want to fight Donald? Fight him, but leave my child out of your ambition. The intensity electrified viewers. Hashtags calling Crockett a hero trended alongside ones branding her a predator. Clips of Melania's fiery retorts became viral, played over and over on every platform. The line between political scandal and personal war blurred until it was impossible to separate the two. By now, the conflict was no longer just about leaked emails. It had become a duel of voices, a head-on collision between unfiltered truth and unrestrained fury, leaving the public breathless and divided. The confrontation reached its breaking point in a live town hall that was supposed to focus on policy, but instead turned into the epicenter of scandal. Cameras were rolling, the audience packed, and millions tuned in as Jasmine Crockett once again held nothing back. She looked directly into the lens and spoke with piercing clarity. Melania Trump has become the symbol of silent lies. She stands in elegance, while behind the curtain there is deception, cover-up, and manipulation. The words landed like a bomb. Gasps rippled through the room. Reporters frantically scribbled, their phones lighting up as the quote exploded across social media in real time. But before the shock could settle, Melania acted. She rose abruptly, her voice cutting through the chaos with a force no one expected. "You will not destroy my son," she thundered, every syllable sharp, every word heavy with rage. "Even if you burn the world to ashes, you will not take him from me." The room erupted. Some applauded, others booed, and anchors scrambled to fill airtime as the clip was replayed on every major network within minutes. The phrase, "burn the world to ashes," became the defining line of the scandal, splashed across headlines, turned into hashtags, even printed on protest signs within hours. For the first time, Melania's image as the quiet, detached figure vanished. She was now the warrior mother, unfiltered and uncompromising. And in that same moment, Crockett cemented her own role as the fearless challenger, the woman unafraid to call out the family that others treated as untouchable. The clash was no longer political theater. It was raw, unpredictable, and deeply human. Two forces colliding in front of a nation that could not look away. The climax had come, and it left America stunned, divided, and hungry for answers. In the days that followed, the fallout spread far beyond the original scandal. Every outlet dissected the confrontation. Every commentator tried to frame the meaning, but one truth remained. The battle between Jasmine Crockett and Melania Trump had reshaped the narrative. What began as leaked emails had transformed into a national drama about truth, power, and the cost of exposure. For supporters of Crockett, she became the fearless voice cutting through decades of silence, a fighter who dared to confront one of the most powerful families in America. Her words were replayed as proof that no dynasty, no matter how wealthy or influential, could remain immune to accountability. For Trump loyalists, Melania's fury resonated just as strongly. To them, she was no longer the quiet figure in the background. She was a mother defending her child, her family, her dignity, and they rallied behind her with renewed passion. The nation split sharply down the middle. Hashtags, rallies, and debates dominated the public square. One side insisted that the truth had finally broken through the glamour and secrecy. The other side claimed the family was being publicly crucified, their privacy obliterated in the name of politics. The clash wasn't just on television. It seeped into homes, workplaces, and conversations everywhere. Yet beyond the chaos, one message lingered. This fight was no longer about emails or even about one family. It had become a symbol of the broader struggle between those who demand transparency and those who claim the right to protect what is private. It was about the weaponization of secrets, the collision of personal dignity with political ambition, and the way a single scandal could expose the fragile line between truth and spectacle. As the dust began to settle, one fact remained clear. The story was not over. The confrontation between Melania Trump and Jasmine Crockett had opened wounds too deep to heal quickly, and questions too powerful to be ignored. The final image was not of resolution, but of escalation. A nation left with the haunting sense that this battle was only the beginning.